Hi, everyone. Happy 4th of July. What a day we're having. It's going to be, it just started and it's near perfect already. So very happy to report that. Welcome to your First Alert Weather Extra. The time right now, 8:03. So we're talking excellent weather today. This is brought to us by a cold front, but that cold front caused some pretty big problems across the state last night. Let's actually get to the maps and we'll show you some of the storm reports that we had. There were plenty of them, plenty of wind issues in terms of down trees, down power lines, caused a lot of issues across the state. Hail reports in, say, the Killingly, Brooklyn area, Windham County. Some of the hail sizes, we're talking golf ball size hail. You really don't see that too often in Connecticut. Caused some issues on area roadways. We saw pictures of even some of that hail accumulating on the roadways. That's wild stuff that we had here in Connecticut. Certainly those severe weather, and we had that severe thunderstorm watch throughout the day. And it caused some problems. We had issues even along the shoreline in West Haven. Some reports that we saw there, some pretty big tree damage and power lines that came down last night. Now, heading out there this morning, a lot of the crews out there have been getting all of this cleaned up. Here was a look in Guilford earlier this morning. Route 77 blocked off, right by Route 80. Can't get by with a tree like that, that's for sure. And it's likely on some power lines too, so plenty of people without power. Now, as far as what we've seen, say, across the state, the numbers have certainly come down, which is great news from, we'll say, that over 25,000 people without power at one point. Now that number has come down significantly, but still people waking up this morning to no power. In terms of the rain, that was good for the gardens, anywhere, say, generally up to an inch, but some of those darker greens and even lighter yellows indicating 1 inch to 2 inches, in some cases even more than that. This is radar estimated, but the rain poured down briefly across parts of the state yesterday evening. But what does it look like outside right now? Well, it looks good. We've had a lot of ferries that have been transporting people to the islands, whether it's Long Island, Block Island, Nantucket. It's a perfect day. See a lot of people out there walking across. Looks like they're heading towards the ferry there. I know looks like the high-speed ferry that we have heading to Block Island shortly, and it is going to be a busy day. Everyone getting a head start on that. So if you have plans, I'd say use the GPS to make sure that none of those roadways are blocked off, because there's plenty of them still. Winds are locks. You see a lot of blue out there. Temperature 66 degrees. A light breeze out of the west-northwest. Today, though, we're calling it a top 10 weather day. Throughout the weekend, we'll notice increasing heat and humidity. And we're keeping an eye on the tropics. Some developments there. We'll talk about that in a minute. But right now, look at these temperatures. Everybody's finally out of the 50s. Had those 50s all morning long for parts of the hill towns. Now looking at 63 in Salisbury, 64 in Torrington, 62 in Willimantic, 63 in Tolland, 64 in Putnam. Look at those 70s, though, along the shoreline for parts of Fairfield and New Haven County. Tweed Airport reporting 71. Sikorsky coming in right now at 70. Let's back up there because those dew points, that's a very important map you want to see here. Comfortable levels of humidity. Dew points in the 50s and 60s, low 60s. You're stepping outside. You're not feeling any humidity whatsoever. It's very low for the 4th of July, almost middle of the summer in Connecticut. So, that's why we're calling it a top 10 weather day. First Alert Live radar scans the state completely dry. There's hardly even a cloud out there today. So, enjoy it. We'll see a few more clouds developing for tomorrow. And then by Sunday, that's when our humidity ticks up just a little bit. But today, look at these numbers, 60s, 70s. Eventually some lower and maybe middle 80s, but some of the hill towns, you're struggling to get out of the 70s today. As far as any fireworks, this is one of my favorite displays. Forecasts in New Haven, they shoot those fireworks off the top of East Rock, so you get a pretty good viewing no matter where you are. If you're anywhere near East Rock, you can see those fireworks. Temperatures will be falling through the 70s later on this evening, but crystal clear skies. It's exactly what you want for the fireworks. Even a light breeze. Couldn't ask for any better weather. Your dew point trend, though, so today the levels are very comfortable. Tomorrow, they stay low as well. By Sunday, we'll notice a bit of mugginess return. And then by Monday, Tuesday, and most of next week, it is downright humid and a couple chances for storms. Here's a look at your feels like trend. So today we're in that, say, 80 to 83 range. Tomorrow, same deal. Low levels of humidity. But once we get towards Sunday, this is where those 90s, not only will we see an air temperature, we're forecasting 92, but the feels like temperature in that 90 to 95 degree range. If you want some relief, head to the shoreline. It'll be cooler there with temperatures held back into the 80s. As far as the Northeast, look at this. No matter where you are, Maine through New York, Pennsylvania, down through the Mid-Atlantic, maybe you're heading to the Jersey Shore, Long Island, Rhode Island, Block Island, the Cape, the islands, everywhere, wall-to-wall sunshine, high pressure building in. We really could not ask for better weather this weekend. And happy to report as well, our streak of 18 weekends with seeing at least some precipitation on Saturday or Sunday, well, yeah, that comes to an end. Finally, 18 of them. Last time we saw a precip-free weekend, February 22nd. Unbelievable. But look at these numbers across the Northeast. 60s, 70s farther towards the south. Everybody climbs up into those 70s and 80s today. So all of us get to enjoy the perfect weather. Maybe you're heading to the beach. It's, again, can't ask for any better weather. Water temperature in the low 70s. High tide was earlier this morning. So wherever you head out there, you know the tide's going to be going out. We'll have low tide, say early afternoon hours. So, you know, Hammonasset, which is normally a pretty short beach when it's high tide, get a little bit more leg room today. The UV index is a 9. So apply that sunscreen and apply it often. Air temperatures along the immediate shoreline, 80 to 85 degrees. Looking good out there. But here's the update on the tropics. So an area of low pressure forming just off the coast of Florida in that orange circle there. What's going to happen is this eventually heads farther towards the north. A lot of indications are it will, say, impact the Carolinas first and then possibly head up into the mid-Atlantic. In some cases, bring some of that moisture even all the way up here into Connecticut. But we'll be tracking a cold front next week. Now, does this interact with that cold front and kind of make a little bit of a mess here locally, or does that cold front deflect this back out towards the Atlantic? It remains to be seen. Once we see an area of low pressure actually form, we'll get a better idea of where it's headed. Either way, for Connecticut, not looking at any type of wind issues, but yeah, it could increase our rain chances. That would be the middle and end of next week. If it does get a name before any type of landfall, it would get the name Chantal, but we're not looking at any type of, big tropical storm or hurricane, nothing like that expected. It's really whoever it impacts will be, it's going to be a rainmaker for sure. Your forecast high temperatures today, we're talking those 80s for our inland towns and 70s for some of the hill towns, even along the shoreline. Everybody, though, it's a top 10 weather day from start to finish. Forecast lows tonight, well, yeah, it's going to get on the cooler side. Look at those 50s, widespread 50s, even some lower 50s. Look at Salisbury, forecasting 53. Best chance to see 60. Well, that would be right along the immediate shoreline. Your first alert 7-day forecast, the 87, warmer tomorrow. Looks pretty good, though. A couple clouds. Sunday, the mugginess returns, 92. On Monday, a chance for an isolated storm. It's really not a big deal. What you're going to notice on Monday is the heat and the humidity feeling like 90 to 95. Tuesday, best chance for some storms, 87, still quite humid. And then for Wednesday, keeping the mugginess around 86 before more showers and storms on Thursday. But as mentioned, depending on the exact track of that area of low pressure, could change our forecast a little bit or kind of enhance some of the showers and storms that we will be seeing. So a very important and forecast we'll be keeping a very close eye on along the shoreline, looking at those 80s, 88 degrees expected by Sunday. That looks to be the warmest day, but Monday still very hot too, 87, with humid conditions sticking around for Tuesday. All right, guys, really appreciate you tuning in. I hope you have a great, safe, and happy 4th. Just be careful out there. There's going to be a lot of people. It's going to be very busy. Enjoy any fireworks displays later on tonight. It's going to be perfect. We have Warren, Middlebury, New Haven, a couple others, I think New Britain as well. You can check, we have it on our website, all the fireworks displays, which days those are happening, WFSB.com. You'll be able to find that link pretty easily there. But other than that, have a great holiday. Have a great holiday weekend and enjoy the top 10 weather day today. It's going to be spectacular out there. Warmth returns by the end of the weekend. Have a great day.